everyone. I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe. Soul Productions.
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. What's up, everyone? It's another episode of Next Level Thinking, where we always bring you inspired guests to help you bring it to the next level. It's your host, Chris Holmes, as always, and today I have a special guest by the name of
Brandi Benson.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and start out kind of broad, but tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
All right. Founder of Resume Advantage. Newly published book called The Enemy in Iraq and coming back with a very rare and aggressive cancer. It's about personal perseverance and pushing through, hard times. And so I'm just really glad to be a guest on your show and to speak about my platform right now.
Awesome. And you spoke about cancer, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I go a little bit more in depth about that because I wanted to make sure they heard that, because I had a little tech guilty. I don't know why the music was trying to come in, but I want to make sure to hear that loud and clear. We always kind of have technical, tech things happen, but go a little bit more in depth about that.
All right. So I am a survivor of Ewing sarcoma cancer, which is a very rare aggressive cancer. It is usually found in the long bones, so either your arm or your leg. It's a bone cancer, and it didn't quite get to the bone, so it just stayed localized, and it was in all of the soft tissue. I did 90 plus rounds of chemotherapy. I had 7 surgeries on my leg. I had my entire adductor muscle removed. I had to learn how to walk again. I had a lot of physical therapy, a lot of behavioral mental therapy, which is extremely critical when you're going through some sort of traumatic event. You need some sort of support system, and that definitely helped me out with that. So my book is about, being diagnosed with cancer and being able to be rebirthed into a new person, basically. But the enemy inside me, it's kind of like a metaphor. So everybody in life has some sort of adversity they're going through or some sort of hard time. So the enemy in them could be that that they're experiencing, whether it be a traumatic event or a death in the family. And mine just so happens to be a very rare aggressive cancer, and it just I'm just journaling and writing down my feelings and how I went through it, my survivorship through that.
Okay, so we're going to go a little bit more deeper than that, because I feel like that's very important, especially for people out there who can definitely relate to what you went through. So what went through your mind when you first find out? And then we're going to go into like what you did to go into the forward direction and then turn that all back around. So we're going to first start out with like what was all going in your head, because I'm pretty sure these are possibly the same thoughts that go in other people's head as well.
When I was first diagnosed, I was in complete denial. I was like, the doctor must have the wrong results, because I was only 24 years old. I was extremely healthy. I've been active my entire life. I don't smoke. I barely drink. I was in the military and I was working out like crazy. So to be diagnosed at 24 years old with a very rare aggressive cancer, I just couldn't fathom it. I didn't understand it. And I was in denial for a very long time. And then after I accepted it and I was like, okay, so I have this, what do I do next? Who do I talk to? How do I go about doing this? Really, my family was a huge support system. My mother was there for me from my initial treatment all the way to the last treatment. She quit her job and she just came and she supported me. So I had a really great support system, and they just treated me like I was normal, like nothing was wrong with me. Of course, they helped me when I needed help, but they didn't treat me as if I was sick. They kind of like looked at me like, yes, you have something wrong, but it's not like a deadly thing. So what they did was like, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the law of attraction, but whatever your thoughts are consistently on is what you're going to, be presented into your life. So they would treat me like I was well. They didn't speak like I was sick, so then I was reciprocating that, and I was acting as if I was just fine. I was still going out and doing certain things. And, I went out and I bought a car. I was, acting as if this wasn't happening to me. Not that, I mean, it is denial, but I was trying to put positive vibes and positive things into the atmosphere instead of, you know, crumbling and just being extremely depressed and sad and, letting the entire, disease take over me. So I kind of just, I accepted it. I was depressed for a little while, but then I moved forward and I moved on. And I just, was really implementing the law of attraction into my recovery during that time.
And I'm glad you hit on all of that because that definitely makes it relatable. And then you dropped several different golden nuggets, and one of them definitely was when you had a good support system to help you go through this, because some people like to isolate themselves from others, and I think that's never a good idea. So the fact that you have others to support you through all of this is a big plus, because they help you get to that mindset of much more. And the other one, I'm summarizing it up, is your mindset. And it ties together that and then the law of attraction, because you could have easily just went like, why me, and just stayed into that, dark place. And you probably would have got even sicker because, your emotions, your energy is just completely in a negative kind of way, and that's never good. But the fact that you, of course, you're gonna go through the storm, but you put your mindset, okay, I want to live like nothing happened. I want to enjoy my life, and then everything just slowly got back to normal. And the mindset is like the biggest thing when it comes to a lot of things, not only this but in life in general. It's like you form your own reality.
Right. And that's really half the battle. If you can grasp the concept with your mind, whatever it is, if you believe you can do it, you can do it. If you believe that you can't, you won't. Like, your mind is so powerful. And I was so set on not giving up on myself and not believing what the doctors were saying. Yes, I had this rare aggressive cancer, and it could, it could go to all these different areas. It could go to my lungs and my brainstem and my spinal cord, but I didn't want to hear any of that. And I was like, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be fine. This is just a chapter in my book. This doesn't have to be, the ending of my story. So I was very set on getting well and being better and seeing myself in a better state, and being informative and listening to what they were saying, but I didn't want to accept it. I did not want to give up on myself. And that's very, very important.
Yes, it is very important because, even though they have all this, but your mind can go through even past limitations. We see this all the time, especially when it comes to sports, where you have the underdog and the stats are against them and they're struggling in the first half or the first quarter, and they're like, this is pretty much over. And then all of a sudden, like third or fourth quarter or near the end, just something happens. You're like, where did that come from? It's that,
right. It's like the fight or flight.
Yep. That ambition, that drive, that, that push that's like, I refuse to, like, this is not the end. It's like getting yourself put in the corner in the boxing ring and you're like, it's not going to end like this. No. We're going to fight. It's like,
right.
If I'm going down, I'm going to fight. But I'm not going down like this.
Right. Yeah, I was, and I'm just, first of all, I'm so petrified of death. Like, I do not want to die. If I could drink some sort of potion that would make me live forever, I would probably do that. So for them to tell me that I was going to die, I was like, oh, absolutely not. Like, I cannot give up on myself. And, I was just, whatever I could do to take my mind off of it. I went and I bought a car. I mean, if you think you're going to die, you're definitely not going to go out and purchase a vehicle. I got a car. I was going to different places and traveling to different places. I mean, these are things that the doctor said not to do, of course, but I didn't want to limit myself and believe that I was going to die. I wanted to have something to live for.
Gotcha. And that's what it's about, stepping beyond that comfort zone, and then also, like, taking that leap of faith. Be like, like, no matter what you say, I know I still got time to do something else, so let's get it.
Right.
So with all of this happening, do you believe that this event is forming to your why of building this platform?
Yes, definitely. I feel like having cancer, yes, it's a horrible thing. Not only did it affect me, but it affected my family, the people around me, the nurses, everybody that was involved in my treatment and my care plan. but it kind of like saved my life because it made me realize how quickly life can be taken from you, A, and B, how you should be cherishing how beautiful life is just in general, because one minute you're healthy and the next minute you could be sick or in a terrible car accident, and how you woke up today is not how you're going to be going back to sleep. So it just made me really open my eyes to the concept of life and to be appreciative of everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the evil. And I feel like everything has a purpose in life. And right now, I had cancer, I was sick, but now my purpose is to help those who have survived in traumatic events, like I was saying, like a car accident. Maybe they survived some sort of suicidal attempt, or such a disease like this, to help them and show them that there is more than what they've been diagnosed as. They are more than cancer. They are more than whatever they've been told that they are. To live to live for tomorrow, to be healthy, and not to give up, not to have not to make permanent decisions off of temporary events or feelings.
I like that. That should be like a quote right there.
Yeah.
End quote.
Yes, I use it all the time.
Yep, yep. And I like also how you pointed out, and a lot of us need to think of this more often, is cherish the little things in life and just cherish life in general. Because this is one of those things like you don't know how much you love it until it's gone, or you feel like it's almost gone. Then you're like, oh snap!
Right.
Like don't wait to then. Appreciate
Right.
everything you have in front of you right now. And there's
Exactly.
so many
And people just get.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good.
Yeah, people get caught up in the repetition of now, 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 now. When you should sit back and look and like smell the roses and see what life is, and talk to your neighbor and like, how is this person doing? And you don't always have to be like in the zone of this, like it's like we're here but we're not here. It's I don't know. It just really opened my eyes to a whole different life now. It's like I am not the same person I was before I had cancer at all, and my family can attest to that. I'm much different in a positive way, of course.
Yeah, and then it's funny you mentioned that because sometimes it takes, life gotta punch you in the jaw for you to kind of like tell you like, look, you're not gonna listen then, but you're gonna listen out of this. But sometimes you gotta bump your head to really start appreciating things, and just turn to the person that you need to become, because of course you went through your storm, but with this it strengthened you, and then you also have to use this as a testimony, or your motivation to impact others.
Right. Never give up. Just you got to keep pushing no matter what, And again, like, don't make permanent decisions off of temporary events or feelings, or it's because it's not going to last forever. These hard times, this cancer, or whatever it was, I just knew that this wasn't the end for me, and I had to fight for my life. And I have I'm very strong-willed, and I could not give up on myself. So
Yep,
being able to push through was important.
and you never should give up on yourself. So with all of that, like, what are your future plans?
So I have a really big talk in India. I'm one of the keynote speakers there. I will be discussing the art of surviving, and I think I have a couple other topics I haven't picked yet. But I have a huge conference in India, and it's from the 11th to the 17th in New Delhi. What else am I going to be doing? I have a feature with Kevin Hines. I'm not quite sure if anybody has ever heard of Kevin Hines, but he is a suicidal survivor. He tried to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, and he lived. Yes, he lived. So I have a feature with him. We did an interview with him and talked about my book and the story. So that was amazing and great. I just, trying to spread the word as much as I can about, Ewing sarcoma, how it is, who it affects, the statistics behind it, the science behind it, basically, and spreading awareness about not making permanent decisions off of temporary feelings or events.
Awesome, and great work
Yes.
that I can see coming in the future. And I'm glad that everybody is making their challenges and things they have overcome into a positive outlook, to which can reach out to other people, and then most importantly, as we all hope for, to prevent certain actions to be taken. Because
Right.
A lot of times, I feel like when people get in that kind of zone, they feel like they're alone and no one understands them. But when you're sharing
Right,
your stories and you impact and saying like, "Look, you can't overcome it," it just brings them back. That snaps them back in.
right, right. And it is different when someone who hasn't had the treatment or hasn't gone through whatever this event that somebody else is going through. It's different. Like when the nurses would tell me, I understand how you feel, I know what you're going through. I'm like, I don't believe that they understand. But when another cancer patient would come up to me and tell me, like, I cherish those words and I value those words because I knew how they felt. We knew how how we both felt during that time or what fears we're facing. So being able to know that there's a community out there that knows, what it feels like to face death or knows what it feels like to um, go through a really traumatic event in life, and to know that there is light on the other side of this. It's very important to be able to reach out to those people, to know that there's a group and organizations that are there for you. So I always encourage people to inbox me or send me any messages. I give advice. I try to help out as much as I can. It's just knowing that there's other people out there to help you is very important.
Yes, yes, that's all very important, and I love how you got in detail about that because people need to hear that, especially with all the things going on in the world today. And the internet, as we know, is like super like a highway for like
Yeah.
misinformation. So we need to shine some more positive light. So
Hmm.
with all this said, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. But tell the
Hmm.
audience where can they find you at?
All right. On Instagram, I am at Brandi Brandil Benson Benson. And then on Facebook, I'm Brandi L Benson, and my website is www.brandylbenson.com.
Nice, nice. Oh, I almost forgot.
Hmm.
So closing comments.
Okay. Do you have any comments, or are you asking for somebody
Yeah,
else?
like leave like a strong statement for just to linger on the people's mind as we close it out.
Mm, gosh. I guess a strong statement would be like, I don't know, live like tomorrow is not going to be here. What would you do if you knew tomorrow was not going to be here? What would you do, and how would you value and quantify that time?
Mic drop. Enough said.
Bam. Yes.
Bam, bam. So as you always know, we always bring you inspired guests to next level thinking. It's your host Chris Holmes as always, and I have my special guest by the name of.
Brandy Benson.
Awesome. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share the message to others so we can inspire others and help them take it to the next level. Peace.